Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday. Wow, that was the quickest weekend ever, I say. I hope you managed to get some downtime over the weekend. We had a lovely family birthday and then since yesterday, relaxing and getting ready for the new week. For the next 2 weeks, I'll be talking about small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO for short. And this backs on really, really nicely to our IBS that we did for the previous 2 weeks, because I generally see these things together. So hi, I'm Ange Sinclair and I'm the Digestive Detective. A lot of people are surprised to hear about small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO for short, because a lot of people find that they've had this sort of thing for a long time and they didn't realize what they had. And it's only as time goes on that it gets more and more intense that then they seek help. A couple of things is, this is not a medically recognized condition. For the most part, there are some doctors that will, but for the most part there's not, even though there's specific antibiotics that will help. So what is SIBO? It's a bacterial overgrowth within the small intestine, essentially. It's basically when the bacteria from the large bowel moves up into the small bowel. And this can happen for a lot of reasons. Food poisoning is a big one that I see. Gastrointestinal infections, big one. And these are the people that have had a gastro infection and have never been well since. Antibiotic use, 1 or 2 doses of antibiotics can really stir things up and move things around from where they're supposed to be. Overconsumption of carbohydrates is another one. So people who eat lots of pasta and pizza and stuff all the time, that can change how their bacteria is within their small intestine and the large intestines. Medication's the next one. So this bacteria that comes up and translocates, we're not supposed to have massive amounts of bacteria in our small intestines. So this bacteria that comes up, it sits there and it ferments the foods that we eat. And then the bacteria then produce gases. So hydrogen, methane and hydrogen sulfide. Although we can test for hydrogen and methane at the minute, we can't test for hydrogen sulfide. So on testing, these gases show up. And it's recognized because as humans, we don't make these gases. The bacteria makes the gases. So depending on which bacteria you have will also depend on whether you have constipation, diarrhea, or both. So the biggest symptoms I see probably most often is bloating after meals. You know, you're the person that says to me, I feel full after a few bites, or you're burping all the time after a meal, or you're farting and have bucket loads of gas. Generally, the person says to me they've got abdominal cramping, they have diarrhea, constipation, or alternating diarrhea and constipation. They can be good for normal stools for a couple of days and then it just turns to pot. Reflux is a big one. Nauseousness is a big one. Acne rosacea, so the little red spots you get on your face, that can be a cause of SIBO. And leaky gut symptoms like brain fog, food sensitivities and joint pain, they're all related to SIBO. So bloating that tends to get worse. You know, you wake up in the morning with a flat belly and it gets worse and worse as the day goes on. The other really common complaint I hear is people say, I've got pain right up under my rib cage. It feels like somebody's pulling a belt really tight. So that's a really good indication that you could have SIBO. And SIBO's linked to lots and lots of other conditions like Crohn's disease, gastrobugs, gastroparesis, so if your motility is a little bit slow, cirrhosis of the liver, alcoholic fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver, celiac disease, IBS, diverticulitis, lupus scleroderma, chronic fatigue syndrome, just to name a few. There is a bucket load more. And I think the thing to realize is that anything that changes your motility will have an impact on whether you get SIBO or not. Because if your motility slows down to the point where it's no longer working or it's working too fast, you've got an opportunity to let bacteria come up where it shouldn't be. So that's one of the things. It's a difficult condition to manage, and the longer you leave it, as I've seen for people, the worse the condition tends to get. So let's just go over a couple of the key symptoms again. Diarrhea, constipation, or alternating diarrhea and constipation. You feel full after a few bites. Your bloating gets worse as the end of the day. Most people say they feel like they've swallowed a basketball by the end of the day. And acid reflux for a lot of people. And it's not dependent on what they've eaten. They often say it can happen. They can just have it all the time. So next week I'll be talking about how to treat SIBO and what you need to do to keep yourself SIBO free. because there is a really high relapse rate with SIBO. So do you think you could have SIBO, pain up under your ribs, feeling full after a few bites, bloating that gets worse as the day goes on? If any of these sound like you, book in for a free 15-minute consultation and I'll give you the action plan of what you need to do next and the best way to resolve these issues. And if you're on Facebook, the link is in the title. On Insta, the link is in the bio, and in LinkedIn, the link will be in the comments. So many links. So see you tomorrow for Transformation Tuesday, and I'll be talking about a SIBO case tomorrow when we talk about Transformation Tuesday. Have a fantastic day, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.